the phone, told me she was going to send a message. So we'll keep our eye on this phone. If he calls in, then we'll be on the air with him. Otherwise, let's just chat about things that are in the news that are of a political nature. And I'll open up the phone line so that it's not just me and Robin talking. I want to make sure that you get in on these things. Obviously, one of the biggest stories is with the ISIS situation, with the terrorist situation. There was a story this morning about 3 Afghan soldiers that were missing from the Cape Cod base, and then there was like an addendum to that said there's nothing to worry about there. There was a story about a terrorist's son who once hid his identity and became a peace activist. So many different stories. There was a story, the most troubling story, I suppose, this morning was from, I guess it was the Reuters news agency, that ISIS has ordered the followers of them, I guess, to kill Americans and citizens of the coalition states, which would mean you and me. I mean, yeah. we do not believe what they believe, and they think we should die because we don't believe what they believe. And what that has to do with a segment during which a congressman would be on, obviously. I mean, Secretary of State John Kerry, obviously third in line for the presidency. Well, president, then vice president, then him, right?
Yeah.
He said more than 50 countries have come forward with commitments as part of the coalition. So all of the people of all the 50 countries, which includes Egypt and some of the other Arab states, I don't know all of them, but they would also be targets of this knucklehead group that says kill the disbeliever, whether he is civilian or military. That's a direct quote, a translated direct quote. So let's take the phone calls. The phone number is 622-9622. I guess the question would be, what do you think we should do as a nation, a government? Should we pull out or do anything different? Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Larry. What gets to me most of all about what our government does or says it's going to do or doesn't do is the fact that they started pouring over the Syrian-Iraq border, and we watched them. We know what they were doing. We did have the intelligence to tell what kind of crazies they are, and etc. And then when I call up my government to ask them why aren't they sending in the drones and the Air Force, etc., I get this lame excuse that we have to put in new coordinates. Excuse me, we were there for 11 years, going on 12 years, and they should be able to have the coordinates on any mole hole in the entire country. They need to have new coordinates before they could go ahead and have them. In the meantime, they went from several major cities to the northern part of Iraq. And now we're finally going in there. It's nothing like closing the gate after the horse is gone. We should have been there right from the get-go to show them right from the start that it doesn't pay. Maybe they wouldn't have 40 or 50,000 people clamoring to be part of it if we did our job right from the get-go. And all this other nonsense, you can see that trying to get a coalition, we had 9 countries, and then after Britain suffered a few losses there, i.e. their 2 people, all of a sudden now there's 30 or 40 more countries joining the fight. I don't know, but we're in deep trouble here, internationally speaking, nationally speaking, etc. And as far as I'm concerned, the Republicans are not doing their job. It's a shame. A year ago, December 2013, after we found out sequestration was actually working, the Republicans signed off on a $970 billion spending bill, and then the next month, January of 2014, a budget out of the blue appears, and they don't even question anything in this budget, but they sign off on a $1.3 trillion budget. And here it is now, they're getting ready to sign off on another $1 trillion, .0 something or other spending extension. Where is anybody representing the American people?
Yeah, absolutely.
We don't have